Good afternoon, Sheryll. Thank you for joining us. Myself, Helen Lovell at the Fisherman's Mission this afternoon. Do you mind just introducing yourself and just telling me a bit about yourself, please?
I'm Sheryll Murray. I'm the Member of Parliament for South East Cornwall. For 24 and a half years, I was married to a fisherman who operated an under 10 metre vessel from both Plymouth and Looe. And basically, one of the reasons I got into politics in the beginning was because of the fight for the fishermen. I'd seen how they struggled. I got involved in my local council and local sea fisheries committee, and it took off from there, really. I think I bring quite a different view to Parliament because of my experience with the industry and the fact that I've got real life experience of what it's like to be a fisherman. So I have built up a lot of trust from my fellow MPs who perhaps weren't as familiar with the industry, and now through the all-party parliamentary group for fisheries, we've actually built up quite a network of MPs who actually are there to support the industry wherever they can.
Okay, and do you still have regular contact with fishermen? So I understand that you live in South East Cornwall still, and you're commuting up to London to join in all the meetings held up at Parliament. But do you still have contact with fishermen regularly, so you can get a good understanding of what's going on, particularly at the moment in the communities?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, my late husband, Neil, who was killed aboard his vessel in 2011, gave me a completely different view of what it's like to lose a fisherman and how it affects the family. But one of the things that I am really pleased about is the fishermen still visit me, they still call on me when they want help. And actually last week I had some plaice and lemon sole delivered to my door, and the week before that I had a super crab. So I do still get to enjoy the fantastic local seafood that our fishermen sort of put their lives at risk every day to put on our table.
Lovely. And I would appreciate and understand in that respect that you have close-knit still, you're closely connected to the Fisherman's Mission, and were you supported by them during those really tough times?
I was supported by the Fisherman's Mission on 3 occasions, and I would like to give a call out actually to the former mission man in Brixham, Paul Jarrett, because he supported my family through two crises. The first one was when my late husband Neil crushed his foot very badly and was hospitalised and off work for 7 months. And to be quite honest, whilst we were financially looked after because we had various insurance policies, Paul gave me a fantastic amount of moral support, and I was so grateful for that. And of course, when my late husband Neil died, I had the same support from people like David from Brixham, and also Keith down at Newlyn. And in fact, my own brother-in-law, Neil's brother, is now the mission superintendent for South East Cornwall. So I get to hear about various aspects of what the mission do, and I'm kept up to date with that. And I have to say, anybody who feels that they want to talk to somebody and ask for help in confidence can feel really confident that the mission is there to support them.
Thank you very much, Sheryll. Thank you. How do you think the fishing industry is going to recover? Because from our perspective at the moment, particularly in Brixham, there are local initiatives, and in Plymouth I understand there are initiatives as well, like Call4Fish, where fishermen are now selling directly from the boat. With your interest in Parliament as well, can you give any updates on anything on how you think the industry is going to cope, and is it going to be given further support? And I know you wouldn't be able to necessarily expand on that one, but you know, can you give any other insight that you might have?
Well, I'm really pleased that you've mentioned the Call4Fish, because those sorts of initiatives have been noticed by the Secretary of State, George Eustice, and the Fisheries Minister, Victoria Prentice. And yesterday, the government announced £1 million to support these sorts of initiatives and allow them to get off the ground nationwide. And I really think that probably started in Plymouth, and of course in Cornwall you've also got a similar initiative as well. And I think it's a fantastic idea, not only because it's supporting fishermen and allowing them to sell their catch at a reasonable price, but it's also making sure that the British housewife for once is going to be able to try different species of fish rather than just the traditional cod, haddock, salmon that we tend to eat in this country. And I would urge anybody to actually make the call, order a box. They're quite reasonably priced, and you will get to enjoy some of the fantastic species of fish that my family have enjoyed over the last 24 and a half years.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, gurnards are even very tasty. You've got dabs, you've got flounders, you've got monkfish, you've even got cuttlefish that people can try, and they would really enjoy it. And probably once we get over all this terrible crisis that we're going through at the moment, you will go to your fishmonger and you will ask for different fish, because there's such a variety there, and it's also such a good, healthy source of protein.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've really sort of enjoyed, is actually promoting British fish at the moment. And like you say, sort of identifying those fish that people normally would go, oh, I don't know how to cook that. And, you know, sharing people's videos about cooking and, you know, advising people where they can go and buy fish locally from their fishmongers, and all these initiatives that are springing up. And, you know, it's lovely actually to see, like you say, the British housewife, one man, as you know, experimenting in the kitchen and finding out that actually cooking a piece of fish doesn't have to be complicated. It can literally just be put under the grill with a bit of butter, bit of salt, and that's it. You know, a bit of flour maybe, or you know, there's a
absolutely, or even just in tinfoil whole in the oven.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did when I worked as a doctor's receptionist before I was elected, I collected a variety of different species of fish. I think I ended up with about 20 in my freezer. And then I invited all my friends, the nurses and the other receptionists, around to my house to try them. And we had a fish tasting evening, and they just could not believe the different varieties of fish that we had. And it certainly encouraged them to go and expand their fish menu. And I think this is something that we should be doing in this country.
Yeah, well, I really, really appreciate your time this afternoon, because I know you're busy. And fingers crossed, I will see you at the Cool Sands Harvest of the Sea service in October.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I just add, Helen, that there is help there that the government have introduced for fishermen. There's the £10,000 grant, the MMO, they don't have to do anything. The MMO will automatically write to all licensed fishermen that are entitled to that. There's also self-employed assistance, where you can get an average of your earnings up to £2,500 for any self-employed crew member who may be entitled, providing they pay as you earn tax. And if I can just assure people, not only is the Fishermen's Mission there to help, but their MPs are as well. And please do get in touch with us if you are unsure whether you're entitled to anything, but you feel that we can help. And for the fishermen who are interested, I can see a future where we perhaps have a lot of optimism there. I know it's been tough and the weather's been tough this year, but one of the things that I think is really, really important to remember, those negotiations are going on the EFRA Select Committee are going to be doing an inquiry into the negotiations, which are due to end in July, so that we leave on the 31st of December. It's enshrined in legislation, and let's look forward to a growing fishing industry where we put right the wrong that was heaped on the industry back in the 1970s.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Ellen. You take care.